All right, so let me say this before I even get started. Sister Coleman said we're all on the same team. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say God is very pleased with some of you. Some of you. He loves and he is shining upon you right now. And then some of you he is struggling with right now. Some of you he's wondering, why did she wear that into my house? I'll be honest with y'all. Pastor Coleman was singing a song, and right beside him, Sister Robinson was singing, and he had on Vikings. She had on Packers. And all I was thinking about is, man, I hope he just tackles her right now. I hope he just lay her out right in the middle. I was like, Lord, if he does that, that's not a sin. That's like, I think he should do that. So when we're done, I'm going to ask that you'll come back to the front. And everybody that's wearing purple, you get a chance to show her a right shoulder of fellowship. So I am very grateful. This is the opening weekend of the NFL. For all of us football fans, we cannot wait for this part of the year to start. We go into a craving right after the Super Bowl ends. Then all of a sudden we're itching for football, and it takes months before it comes. And then when it finally comes, it is a glorious time of the year. And so now here we are, the week of the opening kickoff. And a lot of teams are what I consider establishing their identity. I want you to look at some statistics, because you guys know I'm more of a teacher than a preacher. I don't do too much. I just say, look at the screen, and what do you see? So if you look at the screen, look at these statistics real quick. I want you to see something and tell me what you see. 2012, 5 wins, 11 losses. 2013, 4 wins, 12 losses. 2014, 7 wins, 9 losses. 2015, 3 wins, 13 losses. Last year, 1 win, 15 losses. What do you see? A loser. A loser. You can put the team up now. Yeah. We'll put that team up real quick for everyone to see. This team that I'm going to talk to you first is the Cleveland Browns. Now, I don't have time to go through every team in the NFL, but I will hit on a few in this room. If I don't get to your team, don't feel left out. Don't feel left out. 5 wins, 11 losses. 4 wins, 12 losses. 7 wins, 9 losses. 3 wins, 13 losses. 1 win, 15 losses. Without even thinking, what do you predict will happen this year? Losing again. Okay. Now, Matthew 16:13. Now we get to what it means for us. Matthew 16:13 says, when Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that the Son of Man am? Whom do men say that the Son of Man am? And I told you I would title today's message, Establishing Your Identity. Right now, a lot of teams are trying to figure out who they are this year. Are we a running team? Are we a passing team? Are we strong defense? Are we giving up a lot of points? What is our identity? And a lot of teams will struggle with that all year long. They'll be trying to figure out who they are. And sometimes we do the same thing. We're trying to figure out who we are. We're trying to figure out who we are. What? Shabam. Trying to figure out who we are. Jesus asked his disciples, who do people say that I am? And you guys know Peter, he answered up. He was like, oh, they say you're the son of God. You're the Christ. He said, good job. You recognize who I am. The question then becomes, who are we? Who are we? Luke chapter 6, verse 44, the A clause says, for every tree is known by his own fruit. So when you are establishing your identity, you can try to fool me and everybody in this room. but the fruit of your life will be the dictator of who you really are. So you can pretend to be somebody else. The Browns can try to pretend to be the Titans. But at the end of the game, the Browns will reveal themselves as the Browns. You all said it. I didn't say it. I said, what do you predict's going to happen? Y'all said they're going to lose again. Here's the thing. If others expect you to lose, that's one thing. But when you accept losing, that's another thing. Now get what I'm saying. If you accept losing as an option, success no longer is attainable for you. If you're saying it's okay that I lose, then you will never win consistently. What does that mean to our spiritual life? We have people that'll say stuff like, ain't nobody perfect, right? You're right. Everybody sins, all have fallen. You're right. But what you just said was, it's okay if I lose. I'm just glad to be playing. Me personally, I told you, I like to win. I really like to win. Lord, forgive me for telling them the truth. I will cheat to win. But here's something I learned. Losing doesn't make you a loser. But if you are a loser, winning isn't possible. Now that might have went over some of your head. Losing doesn't make you a loser. Some of you in this room lost when you came in this morning, but you can be a winner before you leave. Some of you came in and you said, I'm a loser, I'm a loser, I'm a loser. And when you walk out of here, you're still going to be a loser. Why? Because that's your mindset. You have the mindset of a loser. See, you can get a new coach. You can get a new coach and you can play for a new team, but if you have the same old mindset, you're going to continue to lose. You're going to continue to lose. Some of us choose to go to another church, another team. We select a new pastor. We want a new coach. But why am I still losing? Maybe it's not the church. Maybe it's not the leader. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my mindset. Maybe I'm okay with losing. And if you're okay with losing, you're never going to win consistently. That's something I want you to really gravitate to because we're talking about this mindset of losing. Romans 12:2 says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye what? Transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. The only thing that is acceptable is winning. I don't accept losing. Now, does that mean I'm going to win all the time? No, but when I do lose, I don't accept that. You know what I do? I go back to the drawing board. I go practice a little harder. I go hit the weights a little harder. I study my playbook a little more. I hate losing. So then I have to ask you to ask yourself honestly, how bad do you want to win in life? How bad do you want to be the man that God wants you to be the woman God wants you to be? Because if you really want it bad enough, while everybody else is sleeping, you're in your playbook. What is our playbook? The Word of God. You don't wait for Sunday before you read your playbook. You're in your playbook every day. Pretty soon you start being able to figure out not only where you should be, but where others should be. But that's when you really want it bad. You really want it bad. Do you seize every chance to worship? Or does missing church feel like no big deal? Because that's the difference between a winning mindset and a losing one. Come on now. Don't nobody come to church all the time. You just gave yourself an excuse to lose. Amen. You have to be honest with you. You can fool me. And I choose to let you fool me. I choose to believe the good that you're showing me. And pray that you are not deceiving me. But if you don't change your mindset, then you will be like the Cleveland Browns. And you will lose again this year. This is a new year. We get to start over fresh. Last year don't even matter anymore. When you woke up this morning, God didn't say, hey, yesterday, I'm still holding that against you. He gave you a new day. Now, what are you going to do with this one? Do you want to win today? How many wins does it take to start you on the right path? One. Winning is contagious. But guess what? So is losing. And some people are so used to losing that they accept losing as an option. And I don't want that to be you all. I want you all to have the mindset of, if I lose, then I go back to the drawing board because I will win the next one. I will win. So how badly do you want to win? How badly do you want to win? See, every year I used to send out a letter to NFL teams and I asked them for their gear so I can give it away to my students. Because I'm always trying to do something for the kids, And so one year the Falcons sent me some stuff. Gave that out. The Buccaneers sent me some stuff, gave that out. And then one year, the Cleveland Browns sent me 5 sweatshirts. I was like, man, this is so nice. They're sweatshirts. Everybody else had T-shirts. The Browns sent sweatshirts. I couldn't give them away. The kids in my room shivering like, hey, you want this sweatshirt? Nah, coach, I'm straight. I was hoping to get pneumonia this year anyway. They didn't want to wear that. They didn't want to be associated with that team. I don't want to be associated with a loser. They would rather freeze than wear a shirt of someone they don't want to connect with. Then I said, okay, I don't want them. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take them to Goodwill. So I pull up at Goodwill and my car went over the little thing and bing, bing. The man comes out with his card. Hey, how you doing? You need a receipt? No, I don't need a receipt. And then he saw what I was about to put in the bin. He says, sir, please don't bring your trash here. Sir, we don't want that junk either. Really? You don't want? Nobody wants this? Okay, let's set it on fire. Do I have any Cleveland Browns fans in the house? Really? Interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Now, we do have one real fan in this house, one real Cleveland fan. She's not here, so I'm going to talk about her. We were in the lobby one day, and we were talking sports. And Sister, let's say, I'll give her a fake name. Let's say Sister Wanda. Sister Wanda Lusk. We'll give her a fake name, okay? So she says she was talking and making fun of Timmy about his team. And I said, well, who's your team? And she looked both ways to make sure no one could see or hear. And then she went, the Browns. Like, why don't you say it loud? The Browns. But you know what I did? I respected her because at least she's a real fan. All right? I respected that. Now, I did laugh at her, but I respected that. But she didn't want everybody in the church to know I'm associated with the Browns. Here's something I want you to think about. No matter how good you think you are, you will not win if you remain on that team. Now think about what I'm saying. I know you think you're strong and you got it going on and you're going to stay in the situation you're in, but if you stay on that team, you're going to lose more than you win. And one win does not negate the 12 losses. Last year they had 1 win and 15 losses. They got the first pick of the NFL draft. The worst team gets the first pick, which means they've been doing this for a long time, getting a high pick, and yet they keep losing. Why? Because they keep making the same bad decisions. How does that equate to us? Are we making the same bad decisions? But because I'm good, I feel like I can win no matter where I'm at. But sometimes God tells you that you have to come out from among that. You think you're good, but if you stay on that team, you're going to lose more than you win. And Jesus didn't die for us to lose. He died for us to win. 2 Corinthians 6 and 17 says, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. The Browns are the unclean thing. But then there's teams like the Cowboys and the Steelers. Yeah, I said it. Now, these teams, if you ever start a conversation with a Cowboys or a Steelers fan, prepare to hear how many rings they got. Who cares? What did you do last year? Man, we got all these rings. See, look, she's throwing them up now. Six rings. Now, we ain't going to talk about my Vikings right now. We'll get to them later. Because I know that's what she's thinking. They throw up how much success they used to have. Now, look at the screen. The last time the Steelers won the Super Bowl was over 8 years ago. The last time the Cowboys won was over 20 years ago. Who do you think is the most boisterous and proud fans? The Cowboy fans. I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't like Cowboy fans. And both of my brother-in-laws are Cowboy fans. I'm not saying I don't like them. I just don't like their team. Galatians 6:3 says, "For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself." Keep throwing up what you used to be. Keep throwing up that you got success 20 years ago in your spiritual life. Keep throwing up. We got to stop bragging about what we used to be in Christ. We've heard in our church, is your relationship up to date right now? Is it up to date? Because what you did in 85 means nothing. Nothing. Matthew 7:22 and 23 says, "Many will say unto me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name have done wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity." This is what Cowboy fans are like, and Steeler fans. Not this one. She's actually a good person. I really like her. I really do. When she prayed this morning, I felt her prayer. And I had to repent for the thoughts that were going through my mind. Father God, why is she wearing that in your house? But I wasn't going to bring that up. Depart from me, I know you not. You know how many people are going to get to the end, stand before the Lord and start rattling off about what they used to be and how they used to do. And 20 years ago, I was this. And Jesus is going to hold his head down and say, I know what you used to be and what you used to do, but I need you to go. But no, just go, because it breaks my heart to see you go, but just go. Depart from me. See, unlike the Browns fans that quietly reveal they're a fan because they don't want to associate with a losing team, the Cowboys fans are the most obnoxious fans. How about them Cowboys? As soon as they win, just look on Facebook. It'll be everywhere. We them boys. Shut up. I'm tired of hearing it. I love it when they lose. I love it. I feel bad about rooting for a team to lose, but I just need for them to be silent. Now, the Steelers fans aren't as bad as the Cowboy fans, but you better believe they throw up, we got 6 rings. We got 6 rings. So, question. If you won in the past, but you aren't winning now, and you haven't won in quite some time, are you still a winner? Thank you. Question number 2. Have you ever been closer to Christ than you are right now? Because if you are, then you are like the Cowboy fan. You're bragging about what you used to be and who you used to be and how close you and Jesus used to be. You haven't won in a while. You haven't won in a while. I was brought up in the church 20 years ago. I haven't missed church in 10 years. 20 years ago. We used to go to church 5 times a week. 20 years ago. I pay my tithes faithfully every week. Okay. What does your relationship with Christ look like today? Are you winning today? Because that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Are you still bragging about what you used to do in church? But if they ask you, what do you do in your church now? You have to, as pastor would say, look for a mint. What'd you say again? Oh, you heard me. What are you doing in your church now? Well, I used to serve on the usher board. I used to be a Sunday school teacher. No. I said, what are you doing in your church now? Now. Yeah, well, see, 20 years ago, man, I used to lead the youth department. Okay, let me try to say this so you can understand it. What do you do now? Is your walk with God up to date? Now, look at these stats. Different set of stats. 2012, 12 wins, 4 losses. 2013, 12 wins, 4 losses. 2014, 12 wins, 4 losses. 2015, 12 wins, 4 losses. 2016, 14 wins, 2 losses. You see those asterisks, them stars? Those are the years they won the Super Bowl. What do you predict is going to happen this year? They're going to win again? All right. Now, look, this is the team that belongs to. Now, am I a fan? Absolutely not. But I acknowledge greatness. I acknowledge greatness. I put this up just because I knew brother would be wearing the jersey in the back. So, I did that one for you, sir. I did that for you. But this is what I want you to get from this. When you are successful, when you're successful and you're successful consistently, people are going to hate your success. And they're always going to look for your mistakes and your discrepancies. Now, most of you, when you saw that picture, you said, yeah, but they cheat. That's what you were thinking. Yeah, but they cheat. Yeah, but they cheat. I know it says 12-4 and 12-4 and 12-4 and Super Bowl and 12-4 and 14-2 and Super Bowl, but they cheat. That's what you were saying. John 15:18 says, if the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. That's what Jesus was telling his disciples. When you are successful, when you're living for Christ and doing it the right way and you are winning in life, the world is going to hate you. The world is going to hate you. But something I do need to say about this team. If our lifestyle is sprinkled with questionable character, with flaws, the world will not see you as a champion. They will only bring up your discrepancies. Forget that they've won 5 Super Bowls under one regime. Forget all that, because all I think about when I see the Patriots is, but they cheat. And sometimes people are going to look at our life and you are doing good, but what did you do to present that good? Did you step on another brother to get there? Did you cheat another sister to get there? Do you put down another brother so you can shine a little brighter? Because if you do that, they will not see a champion. They will only see your flaws. 1 Thessalonians 5:22 says, abstain from all appearance of evil. So yeah, when they threw that football and then all of a sudden it was squishier than the other footballs. Hold on. They cheated. When all of a sudden they're videotaping the other team's signals from across the way so they can steal the signals. Hold on. They cheat. How many teams do you think cheat? All of them. They just happen to get caught. But when you are successful, they're looking to catch you. And when you live for God and you live for God with all your heart, they are looking for you to fall. They root for you to fall. There's people in this room that don't like Peyton Manning, and when you ask why, they go, because he's arrogant. I've never known him to be arrogant. They don't like him because he's a winner. He's a winner. And you know what? When you start winning, people aren't going to like you either. But you know what I say? Keep winning. Keep winning. Just make sure you understand how important your lifestyle choices are, because when you appear to be evil, they cannot see you as a champion. Matthew 5:16 says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. When you are a winner, it should point back to your coach. It should. I mean, Pittsburgh is a good team. But why are they not winning like the Patriots? Because Tomlin is not the same caliber coach as Belichick. The Titans are a good team, but they are not winning like the Patriots. Why? Because Malarkey is not the same caliber of coach as Belichick. Belichick is going to go down as probably being the greatest NFL coach ever. Ever. Does he have good players? Sure he does. But so does every team. You don't think the Cleveland Browns have good players? Sure they do. They just don't have leadership to guide them towards success. And here we are on the same team. Team Jesus. Got the same coach. But you come in at curfew. He won't. You study your playbook. She won't. Now all of a sudden we have all these links in our chain that are weak. And so we're not winning as much as we should. And we win sometimes. But when you're supposed to win and you're losing, that's a tough pill to swallow. So let's talk about the hometown boys. We saved them for last. Hometown boys. I surely hope they do great this year. Now, they're not playing us. That's the only reason I'm rooting for them. Last year, today, September 11th, they played us. It took everything I had to stay in this church with y'all. I wanted to leave, and Pastor like, you can watch the game in my office, brother. It ain't the same, Pastor. There's people in this church that are rooting against my team, and I want to go home. And then we took the lead, and my heart beat a little bit different. My swag came back. Everybody that was talking trash for 3 quarters, I just looked at them. I didn't say a word, I just looked at them. And I vacuumed that fellowship hall with pride. When it was over, and I said, Lord, you are such a good God. These people need to know whose team you're really on. And when I finished vacuuming, I went home and I had pride in my heart. Like, I hope you guys have pride today. We don't play till tomorrow. Now, I do honor the shirt that you have on, and it looks good on you. If you choose to not want to wear it again, if it's an extra large, please feel free to bring it to church next week. I will take it. That looks really good on him. I mean, really good. Yes. Back to the lesson. This team, the hometown team, has great potential. They're expecting us to win. Not only win, they're expecting us to win the division. Not only expecting us to win the division, they're expecting us to possibly make it to the Super Bowl. This is what the experts are saying, not Brother Cody. So yes, I hope the Titans win. I hope they win every game unless they see Minnesota in the Super Bowl. Which that ain't gonna happen. John 1:12 says, but as many as received him, to them he gave them power to become the sons of God, even to them that believed on his name. Do you think a son of God is a winner or a loser? Winner. How often should a son of God win? All the time. So what he has invested in you is power. So if you're still walking around thinking you're playing for the Browns, you are a son. Why do you still have the mindset of a Brown? Well, I'm probably not going to win. Yes, you're not going to win. If you think you're not going to win, you are not going to win. So as the Titans take the field today, in 27 minutes, and they line up against those Raiders from Las Vegas. I hope the Titans remember that they are expected to win. Now, when you're expected to win, that adds pressure to you. I hope you all remember when you leave this room, you are expected to win. There's somebody in this room that's counting on you to win. And when you fail, it affects me too. I know we giggle and we laugh when we hear, and if you tell them you go to church, don't tell them you go to Christ Church, but there's truth to that. We are winners here. I wouldn't be here if this was a losing organization. I expect to win, and I don't expect to just win. I expect to win it all. Because I have the power to win. The same spirit that Jesus operated in is the same spirit he infused in you when he went back to glory. So if he won and he won all the time, it's possible for me to win all the time. It all boils back down to how badly do you want to win? Because there will be a temptation that will come that says, just go to sleep. Don't worry about studying tonight. And the moment you say, well, yeah, I'll just study tomorrow, losing is now an option. There's going to come a Sunday morning when you wake up and the rain is falling and you're going to say, I just got my hair done yesterday. I'm just going to skip church. I ain't missed a Sunday in 2 years. One Sunday ain't going to kill nobody. Now you're on the path to losing. Because the moment it's easy to compromise your integrity, the moment you do it the first time, the second time is so much more easy. It's so much more easy. We're still talking about the hometown boys, right? See, here's the problem. You have to pay to be great. You have to pay to be great. And what do I mean by that? There's some guys who there's no off season. They're in the weight room 24/7. They come back, they've lost 30 pounds, but they are 5 seconds faster. That's the person that's getting ready to get a contract for $50 million. Where the other guy goes, man, he ain't even that much better than me. Really? Could you not have what he has if you were willing to work like he works? But if you want to be great, you have to pay. If you want to be great, you have to invest in your greatness. Do you know why our hometown boys generally aren't great? They don't want to pay. So we'll take a player and we'll train that player and we'll get that player to a point of greatness and then we'll let him go. How does that relate to our spiritual life? God has been investing in you and pouring greatness into you. And as soon as you think you're good enough to leave, you do. And you get out there and you're playing for another team and your greatness doesn't look so great anymore. The reason why you were great is because your coach knew how to put you in position to shine. All coaches can't do that. I just told you the reason why the Patriots are so good. They got a coach who understands I don't need a big superstar name. I'll take this guy because he wants to win. And I'll put him with this great guy. And now we have 3-4 great players together. And we will dominate. You have heard it said from this pulpit that you are blessed to be in this house because we have things in place that most churches don't. You have great teachers. You have a room full of people that love each other. Everywhere you go doesn't have that. So as soon as you say, well, you know, I mean, I'm sure I can fit into any team. Go out there and see what it's like. It's not what you thought it was going to be. The reason why you thought you could survive without this team is because you didn't realize how good you had it on this team. The hometown boys are not willing to pay, and so the pattern continues. And the pattern continues. And we look up like, we let him go? Yeah, we let him go. But we brought in this other player. Why were we able to bring him in? Because didn't nobody else want him. So you're excited about having someone that nobody else wanted, when we could have just paid the guy we had to keep him here. Now, when I say pay the guy we had to keep him here, I'm not talking about money as it relates to our spiritual life. I'm talking about continue to invest into each other. John 15:5 says, I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing. The NIV and the New Living Translation alternates the word abide and uses the word remain. Instead of saying abide, it says remain. If you remain in me. And the reason I wanted to point this verse out is because if we don't remain, we don't never see how great our team can be. We leave to go to this team because they're going to pay me more. And yeah, you might get paid more to play for the Cleveland Browns. But now you won't win. So then the question becomes, what's more important? Winning? Getting that 6 rings? Or is it money? Is it what the world has to offer? Or is it the success that God has to offer? So which of these teams best describes you? Which do you identify with most? Are you a loser? Are you okay with losing? No? Good. Only 3 of y'all said that, so we got a few winners in the house. Do you make excuses because you're comfortable in your sin and you don't really want to change? That's the Cleveland Brown mentality. Are you still living off past successes and not realizing that you aren't considered a winner any longer? I ain't going to look at nobody because I don't want y'all to think I'm talking about nobody. Let me look straight down the aisle. Brother James, you may want to move over just a little bit. There we go. All right. That way they don't think I'm looking at you. That's the Dallas Cowboy mentality. And if we're not careful, we can lose it all. See, we're not even winners anymore. We just think we're winners because we keep bragging about what we used to do. And if we're not careful and Jesus returns and we're still in that same state, we can lose it all. Are you having some success? Well, because of the way you seek to succeed, others can't see God in you. That's the Patriots. Yeah, you're winning. But there's so many people that refuse to call you a champion because of how you win. Winning is great. I joked earlier and said I would cheat to win, but if I have to cheat to win, I don't feel the same as when I win outright. I might still do it, but I don't have the same joy. Do you have everything you need to be great? But the verdict's still out because you might resort back to your old ways? Who is that? That's the hometown boys. Last verse and I'm gone. I told you I'd have you home before the opening kickoff. Matthew 16:15 says, He said unto them, But whom say ye that I am? He asked them, Who do men say that I am? Peter spoke up and answered, but then Jesus looked up and said, Well, what about you? Who do you say that I am? Do you say that Christ is your Lord? Do you say that Jesus is your guide? Is God really your coach? Is that what you say? Have you established a relationship with him that has changed your identity? Because if your identity is not found in Christ, I beg you today to join this team. Because if you don't join today, tomorrow may never, ever come. And if you're wearing purple, God loves you. And I'm done.